welcome back to part 9, or Doodle, that's to part 10 of Doodle Empire series. Let's get into it. So as you can see, these are the current world borders. We have the Greek Republic, the Greek-funded troops, southern Turkey, the Free Anatolian Republic, the kingly city of Said, Persian Empire, the core Anatolians, the Cypriotian Kingdom, Caucasia. Oh wait, the Cypriotians. These two are different countries. The anti-Yamani forces, the Third Yamani Federation, Hijaz, the Red Sea Empire, the Inner Arab Republic, the Yamani government and anarchy, the Red Sea Islands, Oman, the Second Qatar UAE Union, Caspia, and then the Inner Iran Republic. And those should be everyone. So let's see. Oh yeah, and North of Inner Iran barely exists. The Inner Iran Republic will be a new leader who declare themselves as not being from Iran. They're a different culture now. The Southern Turks have a expansion, so what they will do is they will start moving further. They want to control this area because they want to control the economic their economic hub. They basically want to be able to block the Greek ship. Meanwhile, the Red Sea Empire will have a small split. This split is minor, and this split will occur right here. Nation of East Egypt will break away. And East Egypt will mostly be there to threaten the they only exist to threaten the what are their names? Basically trying to threaten these guys' hegemony over the Red Sea. These guys, the Red Sea Empire, they want to get rid of their hegemony because the Red Sea is contested between the Third Yamani Federation, the Red Sea Empire, East Egypt, the Jazz, the anti-Yamani forces, so they all want to control the area. The Persians also want to control it. The core Anatolians will have a large expand. They will take even more territory. They're just... Their plan is to... This Third Anatolian Republic is at this point, is it's heavily weakened. The Third Yamani Federation will have a small expand. They finally get their armies back in shape. And they will try to get some land in order to better reinforce their positions. The Southern Turks will build a castle. They will build it right here. This is to protect their side of the river, the Greeks and Anatolians. The Cypriotians have a large expand, and what they do is they land in the city, Suleiman City. They will seize this coast. The Cypriotians will build a castle right here. And Cyprus, they're trying to reinforce Cyprus as much as they can. The Jazz will have a large expand, and they will seize this entire region. They will get up to northern Red Sea Fort. Take this fort, and they'll start moving down. Third Yamani Federation will respond by this. They'll respond, and they will start marching back. Although they are forced all the way, they don't get to the border fort. The Red Sea Islands will have a medium expand. They will kick the Yamani government out of Somalia. They will then start marching. They're trying to form Somalia. They will formally declare themselves as the Somali Republic. The Republic of Somalia is being funded by Persia, as you can see on this map. So basically, Persians they basically want hegemony over the Persian Gulf. That's what they want, and their allies. They're allies with the Second UAE Qatar Union. So they got them. The Kuwaitis found a religion, and it will be known as in this religion will become known as the Tigris. Tigris. So this new religion that they have formed is basically a religion relating to the two main rivers that they get their water supply from. Kuwaiti military will attempt to regain their coastal areas, and they will get some success. They'll keep on marching. They are desperate to regain their coast. As you can see, their army will just continue pushing. They get close until they finally reach it. The Yemeni government will formally declare themselves as their own thing, which, I mean, they basically do this to basically get the Yemeni people to forget that they were a republic and that they were always under this guy's rule. Speaking of which, Yemen will no longer be an anarchy, because now they basically only exist in Ethiopia, so they will now become the militarist Yemeni nation, and their goal is to regain all the territories by force. The Greeks will consider themselves to be their own nation. The Third Anatolian Republic will depose their leader. She is replaced by Kashta, who, now that I think about it, might be the name that she was supposed to have, but we'll ignore that. They will retake this fort. Then the Southern Turks will form a new nation. And this new nation forms in Crete. And this forms because basically Crete wants to become independent. They don't like that the Greeks have tried to, subjugate them, so they will form Crete. It will be a purple color. And it will take a lot of manpower to seize the island. They are successful. The Greek government is forced to sign peace with them. And so they result. This new nation is basically supported by the Persians. The Persians want to have a say in this area. They literally did a quite risky naval landing, and they took over the Said city. And at this point, yeah, it's not looking good. Egypt will formally declare themselves as their own nation, like their own culture. We'll probably go to turn 750 in this video. All right, a new nation will form. Question is where? At this point, there's not much viable land left. This whole area is desert. This nation was only funded to get minerals. So end of the day, where do you go? This nation is basically just a bunch of nomadic people, a bunch of tribes who are just foraging for fish and stuff along this river. So the Libyans would redeclare independence for the first time in a while. Libya is back. Good old Libya. Libya has been a nation that has not existed for a while at this point. Today, they come back, as you can see. Cypriots will have a small expand. They will start to rapidly invade Libya. They will take all of North Africa for themselves, a move which is quite unpopular. A lot of people do not like this. They will then will unite with these guys. At this point, Cypriotia is unfortunately back. They'll have a medium expand. They will retake their capital. We'll get up to here. But they don't invade the government in Cyprus because they don't want to risk that. They will formally declare themselves as the new Cypriotian government, much to the dismay of the Cypriotian king, the one who rules the island of Cyprus. So at this point, Yemen it's not looking good for Yemen. And then they will successfully gain the king's favor, and Cyprus is back. Yes, that's right. Cypriotia is somehow back, and everyone wants to take them over at this point. So as a result, their army will finish this area, and a lot of nations are gearing up for a coalition. These nations who want to attack these guys include Kuwait, because they're worried the Cypriots will want these forts back. And these are some lands they controlled for a while, so Kuwait will join. The Second Qatar UAE Union will join. Persia joins. The Southern Turks will join, mostly because they want Cyprus. The Greeks are joining mostly because they don't want the Cypriots to usurp their control. The Crete will remain neutral. However, if they are convinced to join by Cypriots, this will single-handedly flip the war on its head. But if they join the Greeks, then this area could become very dangerous for the Cypriotian government. The Hejaz will join almost immediately. They want this land. East Egypt, so they want to be the new Egyptian nation, so they will join this coalition. The Yemeni government wants to regain some of their territory, so they're so curled this which they can't really even join. The Republic of Somalia will not join, mostly because there's no point in them joining. The Free Yemeni Federation will decide to temporarily remain neutral for the time being. They don't know who to join. So we see, first off, the first movements. So, the Southern Turks, a new nation will form. And basically what happened is simple. So, here's what happens. So basically, in this region, this is like the central region of Anatolia, right? The Southern Turks will fund a huge rebellion here. It becomes known as the South Central, and these guys will be given a dark red or maroon, and they will take all of this land. They're a small nation, but anyways, the Southern Turks will small expand. They will land in Cyprus. Then Kuwait will a unity starts. Kuwait will have a small expand. They will march. They will nearly completely obliterate any forces. They will adopt a religion. They will, maintain their current religion. The Cypriots will have a new leader, and a new nation will form. In this new nation, in the current time of just insanity, this new nation will form so let's say, this new nation, right? So basically, Sinai become an independent republic. The nation of Sinai become independent. And this is because Sinai wants to control the Egyptian government. After all, this makes sense. Basically, all of this is here to be Egypt. So basically, everything up to here, plus all this, is here to be Egypt. And all this land, plus I think up to here, Cyprus, I think some of Turkey is here to be the Cyprian territory. The Yamanis controlled basically all of this at their peak, as we all know. So the Sinai would declare independence. They will have the yellow color that their ancestors flew. Take these islands, and they will start moving into southern Sinai. However, Sinai is so militarily fortified, this won't do much. They will get a new leader. They get a new leader. And this new leader will unite. And who will he unite with? Well, the answer is he will unite with the Eastern Egyptians. He wants to form the Egyptian government. Egypt is happy, so they will become Egypt. And Egypt's plan is simple. They want to cut off the Cyprians. They will adopt a religion. They will adopt Islam as their official religion. The Egyptians will then unite with someone else. And this coalition, and not yet another member, this new Egyptian government is huge. They will formally declare themselves as Egypt. They are no longer from Yemen, they are Egypt. They will have a large expand. They will use this, and it will be very good. They will nearly put off the Cyprian government. Then they unite with Hejaz. At this point, the Egyptian government will unite yet again, and they unite with the Third Yemeni Federation to form this new Egyptian superstate. They will build a castle, and where they will build it is right here to protect themselves from the Yemanis. Well, it's called this in Ethiopia, I don't know what else to call it. The Somalians would unite, and they will unite with initially unite with the Egyptians that are not exactly the strongest at this point. So the Republic of Somalia will not unite. Persians will build a castle. This castle is built right here. This is to ensure that Khalees don't, go after them, because these guys have beef. Well, these guys consider her to be a traitor. She, declared independence. Well, unofficially, after she got freed, she then, declared independence, and, she became the empress. Ignoring that, the Anatolians will be small expand. They will start marching into here. They don't care about these guys at this point. The Southern Turks will get a large expand. They will secure all of Cyprus for themselves. This is a major victory for them. This will give them a ton of propaganda. Whilst it's happening, they debate, right? Do we land? Do we attack? So the answer is no. They decide to sign peace. So the Southern Turks will leave, and what they will do instead is they will start to go after these lands. They will take all of this. Southern Turks just want to reinforce their border at this point. They leave the war. The Greek government will unite with their insurgents they funded. They will then unite with the kingly city. They'll have a small expand. They will push the Southern Turks out of this area. They will then unite with them. Greece is reforming their empire. They will take over all of this. So Greece is doing very well for itself, as you can tell. And the reason why Greece is able to get away with all this is because, simply put, the Greek nation is relatively stable. But this new fort is built right here, that we know as Sparta. Not sure if Sparta is actually here, but for our case it is. I think we'll go to the end of this war. I don't want to end the cliffhanger for no reason. Alright, Crete will unite. We'll unite with the Greek Republic. we all agree to purple looks incredible. If we all agree to purple looks great. They will build a fort right here just to be safe. At this point, a lot of the world is reinforced. So, the Greece government, the Greek, or in this case the Crete, so these guys will ask the Persians to leave. The Persians say, sure, we'll leave. And the Persians will agree to, in exchange for leaving, the Crete government will agree to navally bombard the Cypriots in exchange for being allowed to retake this area. The Persians, after all, they don't care about this. They couldn't care less. They just want this so they can have a piece on the chessboard, if you will. Because if they can pressure Greece to do stuff, then that will give them hegemony over the Aegean Sea, control over the Mediterranean, because they don't even board Mediterranean. Remember, the Persians are just only here. This naval endeavor, they literally had to send their ships through Kuwait, have to go through this ocean, go to this island to, resupply. They also, went to the Yamanis a few times, because the Yamanis, they didn't know they were going on a conquest. They just thought, oh, these guys might be trade ships. Like, they held their weapons hidden on the island, and they went back to get them after they got supplies. They moved through here, and since they checked them over here, they didn't think they had, gear on them. They move through all these various areas, they get to here, and then, let's just say the canal exists. They go through here, and then we'll go through here. They just barely fit through here without getting caught, and that's how get it. Is it incredibly risky that they nearly get shot like 20 times? Yes, but they somehow pulled it off. That's how they were able to pull off that insane feat. Right, we will have this be known as the Eastern. I can do it right, Eastern River. Perfect. Then we have Oman. They will unite, and the question is who? Well, the answer is Oman will unite with the Somalians. Now, Oman sent Somalia this because the Somali government isn't doing the best right now. They're not, weak. Militarily, they're not the best, but they can, they can set up military defenses. They will unite yet again, and this time, they don't unite with anyone. Well, they debate whether or not they want to unite with the Second Qatar Union, and they actually will agree. So Oman is now huge. This will become known as the Triple Kingdom of Oman, Qatar, Union. At this point, they are a pretty good power, and so the Persians will be like, oh, this is nice. We have a fellow monarchy on our border. Because, remember, these guys were initially a monarchy, sure, but now it's set in stone. The Persian Empire is, they're like somewhat of a democracy at the same time. They're kind of an absolute monarchy. If it kind of is, but it's not. And this new religion is basically so the system the Turks used. If I could find it right here, monarchical Buddhism, it's not the Japanese did. This is kind of like that, but the Empress did not, she did not want this at all. But the people, wanted this to be the official religion. She's like, okay, so yeah, it's weird. I don't even know. It's really confusing as to how this thing got founded anyway, but it works. They would build another fort, and this is because the Yamanis attacked them. They just want to ensure that they can get attacked again. Realistically, they would have built one here, but they already had 2 forts, so they figured this area is covered. So they will build it. It would be known as the Outer Fort. So these 2 forts are mostly designed to protect their land from being invaded again. The core Anatolians will build a castle, and they will build it right here on their border. Must have been castle. We haven't focused on the war much. That's mostly because of GAD unity. I would have. Alright. So Kuwait will have a large plan. This is perfect. They'll secure this fort. Then, you would let me. There you are. Egypt will have a union. And at this point, the Egyptian government has a ton of unions. So basically, they asked the Persian Empress to, whether or not they'd be allowed to, unite with them. And she's like, alright, fine. So she lets them reluctantly, but, They didn't get the other union somehow. I don't know how they keep getting them. They will unite with the Yemeni government, which is seen as, frankly, really? Alright. The Egyptian government will not unite with Cypriotia because, remember what happened, every time Cypriotia comes up, they get obliterated by a coalition. This is like the third or fourth time this has happened in this series. This is like the old empire. They don't stop. It's insane. But anyways, the Egyptians, they sent Oman a request, and they're like, you have all this land, and you're very unstable. They're not exactly unstable, but the Omani government is not risking that. They're like, oh, alright. And, Egypt is not. Okay, finally, they do something other than send unions. They will link up with their colony, and then cut off Cypriotian supply lines. And this is a pretty big blow to Cypriotian forces. Then they will start moving up Egypt. They will secure parts of the Sinai. Their plans are to take all of it. And then they will unite with Cypriotia. Initially it was a risk, but they're able to subjugate all of it. And the Egyptian government is seen as much more trustworthy than Cypriotia. The Egyptian government agrees to not... So basically, in exchange for taking over this area, what happens is simple. The Egyptian government will agree to not allow the Cypriotians to form up. The split happens. What will happen is the Greeks, or in this case Crete, the governments of Oman, the Kuwaitis, as well as the Cretians, they will all send troops to ensure it doesn't happen. So basically, this ensures that Egypt will not, fall to Cypriotia yet again. So Crete will have a small expand, and they will take over this part of Said City. Because once again, remember the deal they had with the Persians? And acting on this deal. Crete will unite, and they will unite with the Third Anatolian Republic. They will then build a castle. And they will build it right on this island. This is just to ensure that their core lands are shaped. Let's call it this. I don't really care what it's called. At this point, I'm running out of ideas. They build yet another castle, and they will build it also here on Athens, around where Athens is. But yeah, as for their capital, I'm not even sure at this point. I'd guess make a Said City. So basically, the name Said City is contested. Some people consider it to be, it's like really weird. So Crete will unite with the Anatolians, but in exchange it will give them autonomy. So let's see how that works. And now they can adopt a religion. So the question is, what religion do you adopt? The Greek government is debating, right? They can adopt the Tigris Euphrates. That doesn't make sense. They could accept this religion. They're not gonna pick Taoism, but the people want them want to have their religion. Obviously, once again, they're not picking Taoism. But yeah, and these are the exact same religions, two separate branches. So like, this is like the this branch is supposed to be the So this branch of Taoism is what I'm going to call the Persian form, and this is the classical form. So basically, this is the original Taoism. This is the one initially founded by the Caucasians, and this one is a derivative version of it. That the triple monarchy follows. It's known as Persian Taoism, and this one will be known as classical Taoism. These two religions are very close, but it's just a difference in like the way practices are handled. It's like a slight difference where basically they So they basically like are closer to the Persian government. So basically, this uses some Persian traditions, whereas this one does not. This one is more Caucasian traditions. And this is generally just because, I mean, once again, these guys colonized Caspian. So it makes sense where they're the only ones to practice it. That's like the reason why Taoism is so uncommon. No one. The only nation that is Caucasian are these guys. Technically, Caspia too, and they're also the only nation to speak the Anatolian language. Because the Anatolians who are now living in Crete do, like the Greece, but they're like not. It's not the official language now. So the religion they adopt is they decide to adopt Islam. Now this is quite controversial, but they will have a large expand, and they will then secure the remnants of the agreement. They will ensure that they mopped up any resistance. And now the Greek Empire is at this point huge. This will be known as the Greco-Anatolian Republic. And instead of following a monarchy like the previous Turkish government, they will follow a republican system. She will be known as President Justinian. Alright, so this is the end of the war, and I think now will be a good time to stop it. But we'll wait one turn, so we're off with the AD unity. For a final move, the Greco-Anatolian Republic will formally declare itself to be the formal representation. So, like, I'll explain what that means. What I mean by formal representation is that they are like the unified government of Greece and Turkey. They're not from only Turkey, nor are they only from Greece. They are they're unified people now. The Greeks and the Turks, well, the Anatolians, are all united under one. It's like Austria-Hungary, basically, but it was like 20 times better. And, didn't abuse its people as much. And the Triple Kingdom is Oman, the Qataris, and the UEA. Somalia was what do you call it? They were I think democracy, from what I remember. Alright, so this is gonna be the end of the video. Running at turn 10 if you guys don't want me to. It's gonna be Video World X. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Goodbye, guys.